Francisco International Airport. We have live team coverage. Rosemary has a look at what the weather is going to be like today, what firefighters are going to be facing. But first, we want to check in with Elissa Harrington, who is live in San Bruno. Good morning, Elissa.
Good morning. Yes, we are at the intersection of Rollingwood and Sneath. Sneath actually takes you right up the hill to Skyline to that fire area. And this was the street that people were walking down yesterday when they were evacuated. Now, they've blocked off that whole road. They're not letting anybody through. They're not letting us through. We've seen some residents try to go back to see what's left, if anything, of their homes, and they've also turned them away. I also want to show you where we are right now. We're along Rollingwood, where one side of the street has power, the other doesn't. As you can see, this gas station up here has some lights. This side of the street, totally dark. Some crews have arrived to try and fix that. The gas station worker over there actually came to our truck a little bit ago and was asking us when the power is going to get turned back on. But that whole area up the hill towards the fire area, just completely dark. And one thing is for sure, that neighborhood will never be the same. Now, there are still some spot fires burning, but nothing like what we saw yesterday. Today, residents have that agonizing task of just waiting and wondering what is left of their homes. Now, let's take a look at some video. The fire was just burning out of control, jumping from house to house. It all started around 6:15. Neighbors heard a huge boom. Some described it like the sound of a jet engine. It was so loud, it shook their homes, and was followed by a giant fireball that shot 1,000 feet into the air. Residents had just seconds to grab their stuff and go.
I was just preparing the dinner, and we heard a great rumble that shook the house, and we figured it was an earthquake, but it had a completely different sound to it. And when I looked out the kitchen window, as far as I'm concerned, I saw what I thought was a fireball coming towards the house. And I then thought it was an airplane caught fire and going to crash. I got down on the floor, grabbed the dogs, and when nothing hit, I picked myself up, got out, and we got out of the house.
Now, the FAA confirmed there was no airplane. What there was a ruptured 24-inch or 2-foot-long gas pipe. Now, within minutes of that initial blast, authorities were banging on doors in that neighborhood and evacuating people. And by nightfall, they rode around with a loudspeaker telling everybody to leave, and also marked a big X on the door of those homes that had been cleared. Now, the blaze was especially hard to put out because the blast shut down power and water lines. Water had to actually be trucked in. Now, this morning, we know of one confirmed death, although there are reports that there were 6. I know we've been talking about that. Dozens are being treated at nearby hospitals. I did some research, and there's a handful, probably 6 or 7 different ones within the area where people are being treated. 53 houses destroyed, more than 100 damaged. Now, Red Cross is helping those victims out. They've been providing them shelter, and there's also the Bay Hill Mall just across the way, which is being used as a staging area, and that is where they want people to go if they have any information or if they need any information or are looking for people. Now, what we know what's going on right now, we've seen a lot of police cars, fire trucks, city employees heading up into that fire area. This is going to sound just sad, because it is, but they're looking for bodies. They're going up there, they're looking in houses, and they're trying to find out what the casualty number is, if there's still people there. And of course, they're trying to reach out to those families too and help them as best they can to find those family members and to get this whole situation under control. Now, again, there are still a few spot fires going on up there, so they're not letting anybody up at this time.
All right, Elissa, thank you. And yeah, it is sad, but it is to be expected with that kind of damage that they are going to be searching throughout the afternoon and hopefully not finding too many other people who perished in this, but it is likely at this point. Now, if you have a loved one in that area and can't get a hold of them, you can call the San Bruno emergency line. We have the number on your screen, so grab a piece of paper and a pen or pencil. The number is 650-616-7180. Again, it's 650-616-7180. And again, we have linked to our Go button on fox40.com, the Red Cross link to find out if family members are safe and if they're well. So, of course, always go to fox40.com. We'll, of course, have the latest updates on that as well. But let's get on over to Rosemary and find out when winds have died down.